feel the Elusives. So off stream, I've been on a bit of an Ezreal kick recently since they retooled him to be much more of a mid-range threat. So elusive threat here, 1-3. Whenever he hits the opponent's nexus, he creates you a fleeting mystic shot that helps you either hit your opponent's life total a little bit, their nexus, or control the board a little bit. When you're controlling the board with his mystic shots, he helps level himself up. And then his leveled mode lets you close the game out very quickly. Still generating mystic shots when he hits, as well as dealing damage to your opponent's nexus every time you play a spell. The Super Mim, thanks for the 22 months. Welcome back. Our second champion in this deck is lovely little Teemo here, as a cheap elusive threat that also plants puff caps, who eventually levels up into a very happy war criminal here, who doubles up puff caps in the opponent's deck. And then the reason why we're playing two elusive threats is for our top end, Feel the Rush here. So Feel the Rush summons two different random champions from your deck and turns them into 10/10s. So because both of our champions are elusives, Feel the Rush guarantees turns us into 20 elusive power, which is very, very strong. Another thing having cheap elusives does is Wolf Rider here is a threat that when you plunder, you get an extra mana gem. So having 6 cheap elusives means we can trigger plunder with Wolf Rider consistently, as well as the mushrooms off of Teemo mean that we have a good chance to trigger plunder on the opponent's turn as well when we're not attacking. At the top end of our curve, in addition to Feel the Rush, I've also got 3 copies of Progress Day. You'll note I'm playing 3 of these and only 2 Feel the Rush. And the reason for that is this card's a little bit less expensive to play out. It gasses us up nicely. And notably, this reducing Feel the Rush by 1 makes Progress Day also a pseudo ramp card for us when it hits the right thing. This is a card that can let us Feel the Rush ahead of curve. The rest of the deck is just cheap cards that help enable Ezreal, Mystic Shots, Troll Chance, Flash Freezes, some Tavern Keepers to stay alive, some Rummages, and Thermo Beams just to kind of get us set up in the early game. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this and see how it goes. Kid ING and Kevly, thanks for the follows. Welcome to the channel. Freljord Noxious mid-range, whatever you want to call it. Definitely going to keep Thermo Beam as a cheap piece of interaction. I think I'm going to mulligan the rest of these looking for Teemo, Ezreal, other cheap things. It's not bad. Maybe I'm supposed to keep Wolf Rider, assuming I find this.
See the Nebastian border from here.
So I can't play this Mystic Shot anyway, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and open on attacking for 2 here. There's a good chance they play like a 3-mana 3/3 out this turn anyways. Yeah, just like that.
Don't blink or you'll miss me.
I don't know, we've got a good amount of interaction, press a pick, and I can just draw it naturally there like a professional. I'm gonna do this to start. Kind of exposes our game plan a little bit, but I don't want to just pass back and risk them burning our mana here. It is a very fun pile of cards. If you haven't seen this deck before, this is one of the many Runeterra decks you can find up on my website. I keep a page up there with decks of a bunch of different archetypes that include current deck lists for them, as well as videos of me playing them, if you want to get a feel for what they look like before investing your own wildcards into them. Yep. So, I might get run down here. Down to 12. So we're going to have 6 total mana here with our 1 banked. So I get to go ahead and get in with Ezreal, which gives me a Mystic Shot to kill one of these, and then we can drop Wolf Rider. I have a Brittle Steel here. That's unfortunate. Notably unfortunate because it means I don't have Plunder now. In addition to not getting the Mystic Shot, I also don't have Plunder for this.
Just a moment.
Okay, so with this play, I think my plan here is to Mystic Shot this and then Thermo Beam this.
Firing!
Knocked and ready.
Another elixir. Brutal. I assume they're going to see open attacks here. They'll hook this here.
I've got me bigger than you.
They walked around.
Nothing
We're at
escapes
6 mana now.
Nothing can
Still a couple of turns off of being able to do this. Hopefully this can sneak in and trigger Plunder for us. That's a great draw.
Time for a true display of skill.
I never use my goggles either. Armed and ready. More mushrooms.
I'll do this before we do this, because they know this is coming.
We feast tonight, Varg.
Vandal scouts are never afraid.
Easy blocks here. Just trying to get set up to kill them with this next turn. Yeah, that's probably right, Breastpick.
I got ways to find me mushrooms.
You got him. He's dead.
Another day in the
No, rush doesn't brick Breastpick. That's incorrect. That's not how it works. For reference, it'll pull him out of your hand. Can you feel it in the air tonight? Hold on. Bye, friend. Good start. Got to see our mid-range interactive game plan keeping us alive in the early game, rolling up into our combo finish there at the end. Jord, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Elusives with Field Rush is a lot of fun. So this is one of my two favorite decks right now. Even if they had something like Harsh Winds there, they're just not killing us through two 10-10s, right? Is the other side of that coin. Like their deck relies on attacking in. I guess they could have like Harsh Winds into Ash into other stuff, but like I was pretty wide on board too. So even Ash getting in for a lethal attack seems pretty unlikely. Leona Oriensol. So this is a bigger deck. I think I'm gonna mulligan in full, looking for our ramp card as well as one of our elusive threats to start. Perfect.
2, 3, 4. You'll never know what hit him. That's gonna sting.
Clad in shining
This is actually a perfect card for them to curve into us here. So I bank spell mana this turn, and then next turn I play Ezreal, and then have Mystic Shot mana for this.
Time for a true display of skill.
I never use my goggles either.
My faith protects me.
Now they could have a Hush here, but I'm gonna have to run into a Hush at some point, so definitely just going in. All of their cards that get us there are ones that we just have to play into, I think. If we're really lucky, they're going to draw one of these 10 mushrooms next turn, so we can draw Wolf Rider. Never lucky, chat.
Devotion through battle.
Just confirmed the most unluckiest.
I know these paths well.
Nice card. Yeah, I think I'm playing this.
What will you have?
I'm not gonna attack into this 3-2, but I want to use my mana this turn. Nice Demacia Splash.
Vandal Scout never.
Okay, and because the top card of their deck is a... Because we know the top card of their deck's a Demacia card, it's likely to be single combat, so I'm gonna kill this proactively now, so that way they can't single combat it against Ezreal.
Watch and learn.
Deal.
Smell that varg? Fear.
Duel now to... What is duel? Getting back into Runeterra after a few months, any good Lulu decks? Unfortunately, I don't think Lulu is has a particularly good shell right now. I think if you want to play an Iona deck, like the Shen Fiora deck's very reasonable, but Lulu specifically has definitely struggled. Can we just progress staying here? I think I'm just progress staying here. Nice. There's a Rummage to pair with our Chump Wump. Can also rummage away these.
Stop bragging if you could back it up.
Open attacks here. They want to block this into here. That's
Try
fine.
to leave it down.
If they try and single combat Ezreal here, we get to go ahead and pull them out with Troll Chant. They put Judgment in their deck. LOL.
Charge!
Let me get to play this to ramp up again. Do I even want to play this to ramp? I don't really, right? I think I was going to jump up, actually.
Ordering uniform.
I'm going to get to 10 anyways in 2 turns. The second one of these isn't super useful. It's supposed to just a 4-3 with Overwhelm.
The immortal fire.
Because they were 1 Daybreak spell from leveling up. Flare.
Ravani's.
For people that are new to the channel, you've been following for 17 minutes now. It says, random comments because Jeff is iron are gonna get you a real quick trip to taking a break on this channel. I frequently make mistakes on stream while doing multiple things at a time, but you need to be constructive and specific when you want to criticize my play. Guide to effectively get cards. Well, if you're just buying cards for dollars, you literally just get to buy exactly the cards you want for cash with no nonsense. As far as free-to-play guides, I'm not sure. Someone in chat might be able to help you, though.
I don't miss.
Their in-client tutorial is incredibly comprehensive. The number one tip that I give people with the in-client tutorial is don't skip the optional levels. There are a bunch of levels in the tutorial that are extra. Don't skip over them.
Check me out.
So this flash freeze both saves and levels Ezreal here. And they're going to 3. We get to kill them with these static shocks here. So really good range getting shown on our deck so far. You know, had a game where we comboed with Feel the Rush and killed them. This is a game where we're going to grind them out with a fair Ezreal deck. Yeah, like, I'm always up for discussing different lines of play. My play is frequently far from perfect, but, you know, give me something to talk about. Don't just say Jeff bad, lol. So this does 3 to my opponent, because Ezreal does 2, because it targeted this once. We'll probably just cycle both of these here right quick. Get some damage in. Can I recommend an Oriensol deck? This archetype that the current opponent is playing, Leona Oriensol, I think is one of the best Oriensols, if not the best Oriensol deck in the game right now. I think it's super reasonable. I'm not a big fan of Oriensol, particularly with Shyvana, because I feel like he doesn't really serve... Shyvana is an aggressive card, and Oriensol is a more over-the-top controlling card. So I don't feel like those cards paired well together, even though they're both dragons. Was that a good draw, chat? If so, please explain. Having Ezreal with burst speed DL2s is great, by the way.
Sunlight guide you, my brethren.
The world's a
They need a hush here, and they have to hush Ezreal proactively, and even then he's going to kill them next turn.
The light of my star warms the heavens.
This is lethal, because I targeted their thing. Do you have a Leona Aesol deck that I can copy to start playing? Yeah, there's one in my deck queue. Check out that. There should be a link in there. There's also some from the EU Masters tournament that happened recently. That's a good one. YZ, thanks for the tip. For a Soraka Vlad deck, may it be slightly less terrible than expected. I'm looking forward to giving it a try. Thanks for the tip, YZ. I'll get that added to the deck queue after we're done today. Yeah, and if you have any questions after playing through the tutorial, Meyer, feel free to ask. But definitely, step 1 is definitely play through all the tutorial and challenge levels. They'll give you the best baseline to figure things out. Yeah, Diamond 4 to Diamond 2 is the Dark Dragons one good? I have no idea. I've played like 2 games off stream with the Dark Dragons deck because it was an idea I kicked around, but I haven't played it a ton. Ezreal Elise, huh? I'm gonna full mulligan here, looking for... They're probably a go hard deck. I think I'm still full mulliganing. None of these are super good interaction against what they have going on. Anyone have a code for Dark Dragons? I posted a deck code. Do I have it in the deck queue? There is. Listen, chat, if you have not checked out the stream queue on my website, I promise you that there are tons of great things in there.
I pull the string.
Lots of lovely, lovely things. Jeff, we are illiterate, yep. Slag, thanks for the follow, welcome. The deck queue is also the place where if you say I have an upcoming Runeterra stream, you can always check out the deck queue on my website. It's going to let you know what we're going to be playing. Like I said, I always play at least the top 2 decks per Runeterra segment in the deck queue. Sometimes run a little bit long and do 3, but usually at least the top 2. Read. The opponent's archetype's actually my second favorite deck in the format right now. Maybe my first. I can't decide if I like this one better or this one that our current opponent's playing.
These old eyes still see far and clear. Alert the village!
Alert the village. This is a little aggro, but I'm gonna dome them and play Wolf Rider here. I have these two still as pieces of interaction.
We feast tonight, Bard.
That's true. Precipic and a number of other people do screen sharing on occasion in the Discord server. Occasionally I pop in and take a peek at what they're doing as well. The Discord server, if you're a sub or a supporter, is a great place to pick my brain when I'm offline too. A lot of great channels in there for everything from Runeterra to Grand General Gaming to politics to life in general. Folks talking about all sorts of things. Got a good community there. Well, alright. Well, they're ready to tell us to pack our bags, but we also, don't have that big of a board, so I'm not really sure that that's a problem. Yes, you need to be a current subscriber, Patreon, or YouTube member to join the Discord server. That was a fantastic draw. Is it a fantastic draw? I think I'm just letting this hit me, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna do this. You wanna murder my Wolf Rider? That's fine.
I don't miss. Can't stop me.
Yeah, the Discord server automatically removes people that have their support lapse. I believe it's after 3 days or so. It's all automated. Yep. And Anolis, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel.
They don't know what they're
So the goal is to get set up to beam Ezreal next turn. So I want to play some mana worth of things, but leave 4 available at the end. Well, now I kind of want to just do that next turn, right? It does not, BDP. Is it crazy to just go Tavern Keeper, Ezreal, bank 3 mana, do this next turn? The odds that they kill me from 20 are really low, right? That's gotta be wrong. I think I wait 2 turns to do this. I think I'm gonna go ahead and go Tavern Keeper into beam here. Is my plan.
Time for a true display of skill.
How about another round?
Wow, no play there is something.
It's not bragging if you can back it up. Hey, good looking. Back at ya.
The champions seeing themselves as some of the best interactions in this game. I love it.
Firing.
I think we're just field rushing next turn, right? So I'm just gonna pass here. And And, like, if they have Ruination here, I, like, still have Progress Day and these others in my hand, and they're losing their Ezreal. So, like... Wow, what a dick. Don't GG emote me. It's fine if you have the thing to answer my thing, but, like, don't be rude with the emotes.
Jean will be mine. Ambition entirely.
Sometimes you get got by a sideboard card in game 1. It's just how it goes. So, if I would have not set up for Feel the Rush there, I'm really honestly kind of surprised to see that card. The Feel the Rush control deck isn't super popular anymore. I don't think that's a card I'm really supposed to play around if the deck lists aren't heads up. Obviously, if we would have beamed the Ezreal and then played a fair game there, we would have been much better off, but I don't think it's right to play around that one just because the opponent's been hurt by Feel the Rush before. Yeah, I don't think Passage Endurance is a card that really sees much play. It's a very narrow card that's good against exactly Harrowing and Feel the Rush. I think I'm full mulliganing, looking for cheap threats here against Anivia. This hand is abysmal. Opponent's archetype is a control deck, Harrowing control deck for people that aren't familiar. Really need to find like a Chump Wump or something to pair with these Rummages.
Time for a true display of skill. The world's a big place. Let's see all of it. I don't miss. Can't stop me.
Now, it's worth noting that Feel the Rush is only okay in this matchup because the opponent is a Ruination deck most of the time. So getting this down when they have 9 mana to respond to it with generally isn't great.
You can see the Demacian border from here.
Go ahead and just take the pass with that. Try and get in for 3 here.
Sounds dangerous. I'm in. No way.
I'm gonna go ahead and rummage here, because if we find Plunder Wolf, that seems good for us. That's a good find 2. In addition to Chump Wump having synergy with our Teemos, also works well with Rummage there, as shown.
Forever watchful.
This'll take the chill off.
I'm gonna play this out because I feel like if I just pass, they're gonna end the round. Yeah. Progress Day is definitely one of our better pickups here. Real solid card advantage. Little sad that I've been Troll Champ, but I think it was right at the time. Yeah, the opponent's playing Mono Anivia Harrowing control most likely. If they have a sweeper here, I get to Static Shock to kill the egg. So Mystic shotting this in response, so that way this can happen, and then we can attack right away. Do I want to attack right away, or do I want to play Teemo out? It might be right to play Teemo out. I think I want to attack right away so we can play this with Plunder, actually. There's a chance they have another sweeper here. Yes, Rekindler would be annoying.
Return to us.
Another day in the field.
I'll pick 'em, you plan 'em, kid.
Come to the light.
Rip their flesh. Roar.
A world in perfect stillness. Rest in
Hey, are we just playing Go Fish with Ruination? Probably. It kills their egg. I assume this is another person preemptively using the emote like a turd because they have the answer.
My goggles either.
Never not. Thanks for the tier 3 extras. I appreciate that. Welcome back.
These old eyes still see far and clear.
eternal winter.
In general, I tend to be a fan of the emotes. These last couple of people are the types of people that are rude, though. Definitely hurt the experience overall. Arcano, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. I think we're gonna preemptively mute for the rest of the day, just so people are less annoying. Ah! I think I'm in for dubs. Teemo here. I'm gonna mulligan these two, looking for a Wolf Rider. Sure.
Prepared for anything. I'll scout ahead.
That's exactly what we're looking for here. We're also attacking on evens, which is nice for having this. A Jinja Wookie, thank you for the 13 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I mean, Trundle Tryndamere isn't really making a comeback so much as just like, Runeterra is not like other games where they ban cards or over-nerf cards. When things get nerfed in Runeterra, they're still very competitive almost all of the time. So like, yeah, they made some of the cards in this deck worse, but like, it's still very
Use
playable.
my goggles either.
Watch and learn. Got me.
Yeah, I agree, Quaddle. Big agree with that assessment that on average the Runeterra community seems to far overreact to nerfs.
We feast tonight, Varg.
So I would much rather get this down with Plunder rather than Mystic Shot something here, I think. And the attack with Trundle, do I block and Mystic Shot it? Probably. That's mediocre against Troll Chant, but seems fine otherwise.
Rip their flesh. Bastards.
Even if they have Troll Chant here, I have another Mystic Shot.
Firing.
It's, yeah, all familiar. I'd recommend Runeterra to anybody that's looking for a great card game that's being managed by a company that clearly communicates with their player base, cares that the game is fun to play, and doesn't have a predatory monetization model. Yeah, and that too, Violet Journey, right? Like, so Runeterra is a really well-balanced game, so you aren't obligated to play a particular deck if you don't really like playing it. So I think a lot of the time, you know, people stop playing a deck and folks are like, oh, is that deck not good anymore? When really it's like, the deck's still fine, it's just not busted, so you only play it if you like playing it. A lot of other card games tend to have, you know, two or three decks that are like really overbearing where you play them because you feel obligated to, even if you don't care for them. This is another Ezreal, so I think I'm gonna hold on to it for now. I'm just gonna, they're gonna get up to 8 mana next turn. I'll open attacks with this, and then potentially Mystic Shot this with his generated one. DVR, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel.
For the thrill of battle.
Yeah, I agree, Niv. This game's current format definitely gives me big vibes to like 2015, 2016 Modern, when that format was at its best. I mean, is it though, press a pick? Like, I can kill this now, and I don't have to worry about feel the rush out of them, and then I get to feel the rush 2 turns from now.
Charge.
So like, I do this. They're on 8 mana still next turn because they lost a mana, but they gain a mana for the turn. I get to go, like, Progress Day into Feel the Rush. It's a good draw, too.
Death itself can't stop me.
Let's talk about your dad.
Do this to start and see what we get. I've heard people complain that for competitive players, you can't just start playing and buy the deck. What do you mean? Runeterra is literally the only digital card game that exists where you can do exactly what you just said there. It's literally the only digital card game where you can buy exactly what you want to play. So I'm confused by your statement. Runeterra is one of the only card games out there where you give them money and you get exactly the cards you want and not other extra nonsense. I don't know if I want to play Go Fish on Ruination or not here. I think I want to just hit them.
One shot, all skill.
I think I want to hit them, and then we Mystic Shot this, and then I can Flash Freeze it. The problem is if they have Feel the Rush, I end up in a bad spot here. Yeah, I think we're playing Go Fish. Doesn't feel good, but that's what it is. Croast, thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Orchard, thanks for the follow. Jump up, welcome to the channel. Am I about to get double atrocity?
I'll never yield.
I think we're about to get double atrocity, chat. Hell yeah, you are. Wait, am I out of Teemos? Well, shit.
Unlucky.
Unlucky. I agree, Ezreal. I agree, Ezreal. Unlucky. Rough. Atlas Bill, welcome to the channel. Thanks for dropping in today. All right, we're gonna mulligan the flash freezes here in this matchup. Definitely into Thermo Beam and Ezreal. This is likely the Go Hard Twisted Fate deck.
Another day in the field.
Teemo's really not great against Go Hard, but yeah, dodged it.
Not for everyone.
Hassan Jorg, welcome to the channel. Thanks for the follow. Thanks everybody for dropping in today. Up to almost 450 people in chat. Great to see a great audience for Runeterra. If you're new to the channel, I stream full time here on Twitch. About half the content that I make is Runeterra stuff.
Bite.
Do Runeterra segment usually 5 to 6 days a week. Usually play at least 2 different constructed decks every single day when I'm on.
Time for a true display of skill.
I never use my goggles either. I'll scout ahead.
I think we're Mystic Shotting Elise down to 1 here so that way we can line up a Thermo Beam to roll her out a couple of turns down the line.
I've whipped up something.
Welcome, Lucas. Yeah, once upon a time, Runeterra had a spending limit on their economy, which wasn't great. But then they did this really unheard of thing where they listened to user feedback and they decided to change their economic model. That wasn't reasonable because players weren't happy with it. Funny how that works out.
Charge!
Go.
This might be wrong. It might be right to take a hit here so I can hold up Troll Chant on Ezreal to protect him. Alright, no Go Hard still is great for us, so open on an attack with this, generate a Mystic Shot to kill this. We'll get to bank some spell mana this turn. Could see like a Vile Feast here, maybe?
Be nothing left when I'm done.
Firing!
I think they have Vengeance. Sure, that's very possible.
Stow the rations! Shackle the prisoners!
Well, Go Hard is slow speed, right? So they couldn't put Go Hard on the stack there. They've had a lot of opportunities to kill this with Go Hard, and they haven't yet, so I think it's pretty unlikely that that's a card that they have at the moment.
No sweat!
I think we do this rather than going to 5. Going into range of 1 pack your bags isn't great.
Like always, to find me mushrooms.
Never lost a fair game. Or played one.
Could find another Troll Chant here or a Mystic Shot to kill this barrel.
They don't know what they're up against.
We won't be starting Witcher for a little while, Kerwin. So I usually do 2 separate streams each day. So I'll be starting the Witcher playthrough tonight at about 7 p.m. Central, which is approximately 3.5 hours from now.
I'm a people person.
Obviously, I know that's late for folks in Europe, so if you're interested in watching my first ever Witcher experience and you can't be up that late, it'll all go up on my YouTube channel as well, like most of the stuff that I stream. Let's open with this, shall we? Opponent has yet to play a copy of Go Hard this game. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Ezreal hasn't died. So, I explicitly did this before they played Go Hard because I wanted there to be fewer Go Hards in their deck in the event that they had a glimpse there.
We feast tonight, Varg.
And then this Thermo Beam gets to finish off this nicely.
You've no idea.
We're not in a great spot, but we're also not just dead.
What I thought for gold.
Opponent definitely has series of draws that kill us here, though. They don't open on attack, so it's probably one of the best draws in our deck.
So young.
What will you have?
Alright, technically dead to triple go hard. So we're at 5. Yep, saves us from Doom Beast.
Croak if you will, run if you don't!
Dead to second Doom Beast. I assume they have another Doom Beast in their hand here. Yeah, I agree, DVR, and welcome to Runeterra. I think the core gameplay loop that Runeterra has down is one of the best core gameplay loops I've ever played in any card game. They're a really close game that we're just a little bit shy in. Three copies of Progress Day might be a little bit too many. Definitely having people that aren't aware with what's going on in Hearthstone, I'd encourage you to Google it or like open their subreddit. Basically games that have companies that have monetized their game in an incredibly predatory manner going to predatize. That's what it comes down to. Flash Freeze has been really awkward so far. I kind of feel like I want something... I kind of feel like I want another cheaper threat in my deck. Is it crazy? Maybe we replace Flash Freeze with Iceveil Archer? Iceveil Archer levels Ezreal, right? You've targeted enemies 6+ times? That counts, right? It could also be right to play Gotcha/Get Excited, just to have more reach. I had Get Excited in the deck before as a little bit of extra reach. I wouldn't mind a Coward split there. Let's try that. Just more cheap cards to help keep us alive. We had a lot of really close games, or if we just had like a little bit more cheap interaction, we would have been okay. No, we got double Doom Beasted out, unfortunately, Meister. Craig and Clement, thanks for the follows. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, I'm aware Gotcha only targets units, but it also doesn't require us to discard a card. So, speaking of aggro, we're going to mulligan everything except the Thermo Beam here, looking for other cheap interaction. Looking at our curve, it doesn't really look like we're a Tri-Beam deck, no? Really hoping to draw 1s and 2s here. 1s, 2s, 3s. Definitely just killing this before it can grow up and get annoying. I saw some really interesting takes from people in the Hearthstone community that are their creators. I don't know. As someone who recently changed games and took a hit to his income to change games because I was unhappy with like the predatory. I knew it was gonna be this one. I knew who you were talking about when you said boomer. But yeah. It's yeah. I don't know. I understand to a degree why other creators are hesitant to do other games or even speak negatively about it because, like, their livelihood does depend on it. So, like, while it would be ideal if people were more outspoken when those companies do things that are less than consumer friendly, I also understand to a degree, you know, being nervous about your livelihood about it. Like, my wife and I had a long conversation before I decided to pitch off of doing Magic altogether. There's really no reason to do this now, right? I should just wait till we draw one more card. I mean, it's not like, so that's the Mad Leprechaun there, I think that's an unfair position to have that doesn't understand where content creators are coming from. Most content creators aren't directly getting money from Blizzard or Wizard or even Riot. Like, Riot doesn't pay me to stream, right? Like, they give me some stuff, and a lot of these companies support their creators at least a little bit, even if they all don't do as much as Riot, but it's less the fact that these creators are getting money directly from the company, so they're hesitant to speak out, so much as it's these creators, if the player base is unhappy, their job is likely to suffer, and if they're negative about whatever change is happening, people that aren't upset with it are gonna leave because they're being negative. It's tough, right? Like, even when I'm not trying other things on Twitch, like, as a creator, being a creator can feel like a very stressful job at times because, like, your income can fluctuate at 50 to 75% some months, sometimes up, but also sometimes down. Makes it difficult to budget things. So I think we do the rummage now, and it lets us thermo beam this very nicely. We're gonna get rummaged and get punished here, so maybe I shouldn't have rummaged. If they had a rummage of their own there, my play was bad, so maybe my rummage shouldn't have happened. Gotcha looking good here. Maybe I'm supposed to gotcha before I play this. We're gonna attack with this now.
I salute you.
The heart's as big as his biceps. It's the seed.
And Zini, thanks for the Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine again this month with that.
From blood, glory.
I've carved meat bigger than you.
I feel about using Troll Chant to save a little bit of life here. I think I'm into it. Putting this to 2 toughness means that Mystic Shot or Ezreal can finish it off next turn.
Put on me mask, secure me tail, start the day.
Honestly, it might be right to just play out a Naked Wolf Rider. JK, I'm gonna end the round. So, ending the round here means I can feel the rush this turn, which is great.
Rules are made to be broken. Like this. For people.
Yeah, I mean, Feel the Rush is definitely better than War Mothers in these aggro matchups, that's for sure. You know, I kind of like the idea. I've liked having more progress days so far, but they've been clunky in some spots. Maybe I just want to play more draw discard effects. Perhaps I just want some Urchins at the bottom end of my curve. It's an okay, like, pseudo anti-aggro card. Thank you for returning your Switch game when you were done with it, small child. I think some Dredger's better. Maybe, I don't know, 3 mana is a lot of mana. Dog B-Day Party. Oh, Twitch usernames, thanks for the follow. Hey, Full Metal, thank you for the 39 months. And never feel bad. I know the world is in a uniquely medium space at the moment, so I don't fault people. You should definitely take care of yourself first before anything. Anything you have to support my content here should definitely be your extra entertainment money. And I understand that there's a lot of people that just don't have that right now. Okay. So they get to draw 2 cards next turn. So this is going to chump block here. These will block over here. We'll take 9 down to 4. We'll open attacks and kill them.
Oh, take your time, pal.
I guess I can't open attacks and kill them if they don't attack with this, huh?
Noxian strength.
No sweat.
Afternoon, Dr. Jazin. I die to get excited here, but I think it's correct to... do this.
The sun rock got me going. There's a blast from the past. Well,
Watch and learn. Can't stop me.
never underestimate the power of the scouts.
World is in a medium space is like the optimistic outlook on 2020, right? That's the optimism in me speaking. Let's play a couple more games. Lost. The ones we've lost have been close so far. Alright, sweet. And this is the matchup that was close last time. We have some more deal 3s that should really help us out here. And this hand actually seems pretty great. I think I'm actually keeping all of these. Coalesce, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. How we get 10/10 copy of Ezreal. Feel the rush, our deck's namesake. What Ben and Jerry's flavor should get. I'm very partial to any kind of thing that has peanut butter in it. Big fan of the peanut butters.
I'll scout ahead.
I don't think that's strictly true, Ronald Rose. One of the things too to consider is that like Runeterra being a free-to-play reference, a free-to-play refuge, Runeterra being free-to-play friendly gets people in the door. Like, again, like, Runeterra doing all these other things better than these other games doesn't also diminish the fact that Runeterra is just a really good game. Like, if all other things were equal and the economies in Magic, Hearthstone, and Runeterra were identical, I think from a pure gameplay perspective, I like Runeterra's gameplay the best. And that's definitely super subjective, but the Runeterra really feels like it's hit this really ideal mix of, we have back and forth interaction by both players playing every turn, but at the same time, we don't have that super rigid priority system that Magic has, which makes games feel tedious a lot of the time. I think I'm gonna go ahead and kill this one. I don't want to get aggroed out here. Alright, Teemo living here is huge. Getting in a hit with this so we can plunder the Wolf Rider is everything we want.
Enough for everyone.
So, my response to, as a control player, I feel Magic and Hearthstone have more options for control play. I think that's objectively wrong. The thing that I think you're trying to hit on is the control decks in Hearthstone and Magic especially feel very different than the control decks feel in Runeterra, and in my opinion, that's a good thing, because the control decks in games like Magic especially, I haven't played Hearthstone in a while, but in Magic especially, control decks just feel miserable to play against a lot of the time. Runeterra's done a really good job of removing a lot of the feel bads that it's similar to Hearthstone. Okay, sure. Like, control decks in those other games, in Magic especially, they feel awful to play against. And again, that's subjective. Feel free to disagree if you don't think they feel awful to play against. But in my opinion, they feel bad to play against.
See the Demacian border from here.
Yeah, so Runeterra having a lot of their control decks be unit-based is one of the many things that makes Runeterra great. Because when the games and the decks are about units, the games are about playing to the board, which means you have wrong half problems a lot less often. And obviously, personal gameplay preferences are subjective. There's going to be people like the person in chat that said they hate control decks in this game too, and that's fine. That's subjective. You're obviously welcome to feel that way. But from a game design perspective, the types of play patterns that the control decks generate in these games are meaningfully different than the play patterns the average control deck has in a game like Magic.
Display of skill.
I never
There's
used
no-
play goggles either.
There's no control decks in Runeterra where every play you make for the entirety of the game just gets killed or just gets counterspelled, and your cards never get to do anything.
One shot, all skill.
You can't do this.
I don't know. So, like, the crazy deck building from something like Magic, I think if you looked at Runeterra's current format and Magic's current format, and you measured the number of playable cards in both of these formats, I think Runeterra actually has more playable cards than Magic's formats do. Just by virtue of how many cards are appropriate power level. And you're right, from a pure mathematical standpoint, there are more permutations of cards you can put into decks in Magic, but most of those cards suck and most of those decks aren't competitive.
We feast tonight, Varg.
Is the brutal reality about it. Think about the number of hero decks you can build. Yep. All right. I think I should have checked. I can't remember if that was their second or third go hard. We have guests. Taco Stream, thanks for the follow. By doing this proactively, I'm gonna pass and see what they do. And this is the reason to wait here. Works out well. Yeah, correct. Runeterra doesn't have pack filler. There aren't a bunch of bad cards in Runeterra that exist purely for the purpose of selling you booster packs. So I think when they attack with everything, I go trade, eat, take 4 down to 8.
Let's talk about your attack. Gonna close up.
the snow.
Ha! 1 mana. 1 mana troll chance is great. I debated opening on attack so I could hold up this. I think if I hadn't drawn the 1 mana troll chant there, I would have just not attacked this turn. But with the 1 mana troll chant, easy attack for sure.
Deal me in. All that glitters.
And I've talked about this on stream before too, but honestly, one of the things that I think makes Runeterra such a great game in the core game design is Runeterra has one of what's the word I'm looking for? Runeterra tempo matters in Runeterra more than it matters in any other card game I've ever played. That's the words I was fumbling to find. And I love that personally because some of my favorite Magic decks were always my favorite decks in any other card game were always temp decks that really cared about tempo.
Like the great outdoors.
And not only is it because things effectively have haste and flash, but the other reason why tempo matters so much in Runeterra is because players effectively draw twice as many cards as they do in other games, right? Because you're drawing a card on your turn and their turn, you have more decisions to make and more cards in your hand, which means what you have on the board matters more. Alright, let's not be dead to Doombees.
Welcome to the tipsy hour.
Noah, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. To the person who asked where I am from the Midwest. I reside about 2 hours south of Chicago.
How about another round?
I agree that was a loose/aggressive pack your bags. How close to level? Ezreal is leveled. Is it crazy to Static Shock proactively here? I think I'm either supposed to Static Shock just to cantrip it, or just pass the turn. Oh, my mana was full. Yeah, I should have played my 4-3 out ahead of time. My brain is programmed. My brain is programmed to get plunder with that, but you're right. I should have played it out before I attacked. You're exactly correct.
How you spirit?
There's nothing to fear.
Gotcha. I should hit their face here for one, probably. I guess hitting their things is better if I draw a second Static Shock.
I've carved meat bigger than you.
Is there a difference between going to 4 and staying at 5? 2 Doom Beasts is a difference? Do I want to stay out of double Doom Beast range? Probably.
Hey, I'm still like a yodel in uniform. I'm so good,
Are they dead this turn? That's pretty close to it, huh?
The world's a big place. Let's see all of it.
Not quite. Is it crazy to ditch the thermo beam and keep the mushroom cloud? I almost feel like that's not crazy. Is that silly?
Put on me mask, secure me tail, start the day.
Put on my mask, secure my tail, start my day.
Let's take this outside. Wait a minute.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
So this does 3, this does 1, and then we've got 2 more next turn. Stuff, good stuff, good stuff.
And Ezreal is victorious.
Oh, easy. Oh, easy. Mookamelon Brand, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Gosh, we're up to almost 500 people. Should we do a third deck this afternoon? I feel like we should do a third deck. We got Twisted Taskmaster is next in the queue. Let's do some Twisted Taskmaster after this. For folks that are new to the channel, you can always know what to expect coming up on my channel by checking out the stream queue on my website. Lots of great deck lists in there too if you're ever looking for ideas of things to build. Misfortune Lucian, so something aggressive. Mystic Shot and Ezreal both sound great here. I think I'm going to go ahead and mulligan these two looking for other cheaper plays. Great. This is not amazing, but Sentry is fine.
New recruit reporting in. A real battle.
Yeah, the Taskmaster deck was really good last time we played it, so I'm excited to give it another try and see if it can be good a second time through. Alright, so if I want to get aggressive, we play Teemo, but we're almost assuredly supposed to be playing defense here, right? So I think we play Sentry, so that way we can Mystic Shot something when they open attacks.
Don't get in my way.
I'd recommend you draw Gotcha versus Misfortune on 3. That's strong advice.
Don't worry about me.
Charge?
Man, that's good. They ordered him right too, because I wanna kill Lucian, not Senna, and if I kill Lucian in combat now, their Senna double attacks. Hey, thanks for the Prime Icy. I really appreciate the 13 months. Welcome back. I think it's right to do this and cash in my Troll Chant here. We're gonna take 12 this way though.
You monster!
If I play this out, I go up to 4 mana next turn.
Reporting in.
So I eventually have to kill both of them. Sarja is the issue. So with this sequence, I get to play this turn. I get to Ezreal Mystic Shot this with the fleeting one, and then have 2 Mystic Shots rolled up in hand for the following turn.
I don't miss.
Safeguard our homes.
I probably want to leave this as a chump blocker, actually. Yeah, I agree, Prespec. We took a big hit, but we're using our life total as a resource, basically.
Stand down.
And then with this block here, I'm gonna Mystic Shot this with Ezreal's Mystic Shot before damage, so that way this goes down to 2, so that way I can finish her with this extra Mystic Shot next turn.
Not for everyone.
So, like, we're definitely in a bad spot, but I think this is the play to win line. It's unfortunate I can't double spell this turn, though.
Fortune favors the bold.
They have a way to save this, we're just dead. That's how it goes sometimes.
We'll get him next time.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have the tools to play around Sharpsight that game, right? Just gotta cross your fingers and hope they don't have it. I'm gonna play one more with this. I try to end on high notes with decks. So we've only been playing this one for a little over an hour. Usually I try to play decks for about 90 minutes and end on a win. So we're definitely gonna play one more set after this. So we're gonna stream for another hour and a half or so, but I wanna do one more with this elusive deck before we switch up. Dumats, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Rocket Catch. This matchup's probably not terrible if we... This matchup's probably not terrible if we can find our Feel the Rush. Having Wolf Rider to start seems really good. I would love to mulligan for an elusive threat to enable this plunder. Yeah, I will still take at least a short break in between the third deck and Witcher, though, because I want to get some food in before we do that.
What will you have?
There's always fighting 8-punch Pablo.
This one's on the house.
Scare me behind.
If they want to burn like a gain 4 toughness and heal on this, I think that's fine.
Table for one, if you'd oblige.
Aye, it's a dinner on you then. Aye, right. Where are you off to?
You want to slam a buff cap?
Oh, I don't require many.
Nah, I'm gonna Mystic Shot their face and play Wolf Rider.
How about another
Open
round?
attacks first.
You're in for a whooping.
Who's gonna close up?
So what's in store for me? Prima?
I need time for commute.
I think developing my mana is most important here, so when we find a Feel the Rush, we can just jam it. Can you explain why you think the puff caps are important? Does their deck really draw that many cards? Yes, nabbing and puff caps do not play well together.
Establishment's fair. River always
Soraka draws the card every turn. That makes sense.
Proffer my allyship, Demon to Star Child.
Oh, Tom, there may be redemption for you yet.
I'm sure there's something for my tastes.
If this draws Feel the Rush, we can play it next turn, right? We'll go up to 9 with 2 mana. No, I'm dumb. We're only gonna have 1 extra, right? We'll be able to play it on our following turn, though. So, leveling up Ezreal's probably not going to matter in this matchup, and I wanted to target their face because that way in the event that we killed Tom Kench, we would get our Wolf Rider back, and it would trigger Plunder. Yeah, they just eat Teemo if I play it. I can put some Puff Caps in their deck, though.
Appetizers are plenty.
Stars live with her. I leave my own.
I go waste if I'm in mushrooms. Put me in, Tommy boy!
Oh, I'll be happy to accommodate, Pablo.
Oh, that's a harvest right there.
Where there's a will, there's a meal.
There's no reason to play the cheaper one. Nah, I think I want to hold on to Teemo for now. Oh, I guess I can pull him out of my hand if I hold on to him. I don't know. Having extra Teemos feels good with the second Feel the Rush, though. Well, I mean, that went exactly according to plan, right?
Israel is victorious!
I agree. I think that matchup's fine, Breastpick. They don't have good answers to our large things. And like even if they had a Hush there to like kill one of them, the other one would have connected. Yeah. Goodbye, Kench. Pretty happy with where we ended up at with this. If anything, I might have slightly too much top end with 2 Feel the Rush and 3 Progress Day, but I feel like if I concluded that this was too much top end, rather than cutting some of these cards, I would rather just play more draw discard effects to smooth out either Urchin or the 4/3 that draws discards could be worth considering. In terms of curve purposes, I feel like Urchin's probably a little bit better. There's also a possibility that with playing the full set of Chump Wumps and the full set of Wolf Riders, I'm slightly on too many 4s, so maybe I could see going down on Static Shock could be a card that I would want to trim to fit in that effect. The Gotcha and the Get Excited seemed like they're reasonable. We played this card in the past, but having more ways to kill opposing Ezreals and Elises and stuff like that that are 3 toughness units to start seems very, very, very decent. But I think at the very least, I'm going to update the list on my site after we're done with this set today to be something close to this. Might fit in 1 or 2 more draw discards if I think about it a little bit more, but was pretty happy overall with where we ended up at. This deck's a lot of fun and definitely one of my favorites in the format right now. All right.